Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Tim May. I'm here with a special guest, Urban Meyer. You may see more of us as this season goes on, but this is kind of a somber moment for both of us because we're reacting to the passing of a fellow I consider to be a friend, a fellow that I covered by the name of William White, former cornerback turned safety at Ohio State, who played in the National Football League for 11 years. And Urban Meyer was a graduate assistant starting in 1986 at Ohio State for 2 years. Got to know William White as a player, and then that turned into a friendship. But Urban, just when you heard the news of William White passing, it wasn't really a shock because he had been dealing with ALS for like 7 years, but it still hits you right in the solar plexus, doesn't it?
It does. Maybe not as bad as the first when I first heard he had ALS. And I remember that day vividly that I heard. I was like, I couldn't believe it. We gave him a game ball. Brendan was on our team, very close to the family. So William White, I was only 21 years old. I went to Ohio State in 1980.
86, right?
86. And William White, we became very good friends. I was a coach, but I was also maybe a year or two older than him. That's it. And we stayed in contact. He had a great NFL career. I went through college and ended up at Ohio State. And he was one of the first people that came and welcomed me. He would come to practice. He was very strong in his faith. He's also, I'm not sure people realize, he was an engineer.
Yeah.
And for a long time, he worked at Ohio State in the engineering department and development. And he would help us recruit. He would speak to our chapel services. And I used him as many times as I could. And then the final thought, Shelley and I both, the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer, which supports the Meyer Foundation, he was as involved as you can be with that. He was so generous with his time and his money and he supported the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer big time.
Yeah. Intelligence is the word that comes to mind when I think of William White more than anything else, because he could talk on a lot of subjects, and but then, like you said, his faith, he wore his faith on his sleeve, and then on top of that, judge somebody by their deeds, right? I mean, I'll never forget, I did a story on him years ago about loading up a bus and bringing kids to Ohio State's summer football camps, and wow, not everybody does stuff like that, right?
No. And, that's part of the Woody Hayes mentality, pay forward. And I'm proud to say there's a lot of players we've coached. And William White was certainly one of the guys that we didn't coach him, but we coached his son, Brendan. But that was a big part of his life. Him and Cole, like I said, they were stars on our Buckeye Cruise for Cancer.
Yeah.
William would dress up and do some fun things, and the fans would love him. And this is heartbreaking, but I know he's in a better place. I know that.
Urban, tell me what it takes for a person to be allowed to speak to your football team back when you were a head coach and stuff. Because I know that's rarefied air for folks. Because number one, you've got to have a kinship with them or a trust in them, et cetera. But what was it about William that made you allow him to speak to your team? Like, for example, the night before a game and stuff. I know he in New Jersey before a Rutgers game one time, he was waiting to speak with the team, and I was talking with him, as you guys arrived and stuff. And that's just not an average everyday person, right? That you allow to do something like that.
No, I learned my lesson early on as a coach at Bowling Green. I let someone speak to the team. I won't go there, but it was the exact opposite message that I wanted to share with our team. William spoke to our team at least 10 times.
Wow.
I would say he probably spoke to our team more than anybody else, whether it be chapel service, whether it be before a big game. I just loved William White. I trusted William White. His message, he was the combination of high-end academics and high-end football. He was a poster child for that at Ohio State.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he mainly preached, and from my experiences with him, he preached accountability, right? I mean, he preached be responsible for your own things, and then things will work out for you, et cetera. But take care of your own job first, right?
Well, you just don't see many guys that are engineering students, and not just engineering student, elite engineering student, high-end graduate, and went on to be a great NFL player. You just don't run across guys like that. So he would send a message to the players exactly the way I wanted it sent. And it's like you said, be accountable in the classroom, be accountable off the field, and be accountable obviously on the field.
Yeah. And his courage, man, showed up the last several years when he was dealing with ALS, but he was still out there doing the best he could to make a difference. And wow, that just says a lot about a young man, doesn't it?
It does. And I know Buckeye Nation, I read some of the things, and I talked to a couple former players. I know Chris Spielman and I chatted today, and that's what makes Ohio State so special. It's a Buckeye. Long live the brotherhood.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Urban Meyer, and he and I hope to be together this year coming up with maybe a little weekly show to kind of get you ready for Ohio State football and maybe some other games around the country and stuff. We're gonna delve into his expertise. But Urban, I know you're looking forward to that. I am too. But I appreciate you joining me now, man.
Tim, I look forward to it, and you're a great friend. Thanks.